Yo, we hitting the pick, number one on the board. Cat and Proctor, the Titan, that's who we adore. From the Alabama soil where the legends grow tall. A mountain of muscle, a wall for the ball. Then it's Chris Johnson, a DB, the island is locked. Out in San Diego where the defense was rocked. Pick 158, that's a steal in the light. A lockdown assassin, a shadow in flight. Then the second round, Rodriguez, the Red Raider soul. Texas Tech heat, yeah, he's taking control. A linebacker beast with a nose for the play. He's bringing that love Bach thunder our way. Peace to the Finns, yeah, we building the brand. The baddest new brothers in all of the land. It's that aqua and orange, the colors of kings. Feel the bass in the trunk, hear the way that be swings. New blood in the water, yeah, the sharks on the prowl. Miami's most wanted, they making the howl. From the top of the draft to the end of the line, everything's clicking, yeah, everything's fine. Welcome to the crib, fam, the legend is born. We taking the crown, yeah, we weathering the storm. Weathering the storm, yeah, you heard? Caleb Douglas, Will Cack, Merrick Chris Bell too. Texas Tech speed in the Ohio State view. Louisville Lightning, yeah, the receivers are deep. While the league is just dreaming, we staying out of sleep. Trey Moore, the edge rusher, Texas on the blade. Coming for the quarterback, watch how he's played. Kyle Lewis, the LB from Pittsburgh to the Heat. Michael Toff, the safety, making the secondary complete. Fifth round fever, we finding the gold. Seidel Trower, the TE, the story untold. Coleman Jr. and Campbell, Missouri to the heart. DJ on the guard, yeah, we tearing the charts. Max Llewellyn, the defensive, and from the west. Iowa power, yeah, he's passing the test. It's that aqua and orange, the colors of kings. Feel the bass in the trunk, hear the way that be swings. New blood in the water, yeah, the sharks on the prowl. Miami's most wanted, they making the howl. From the top of the draft to the end of the line, everything's clicking, yeah, everything's fine. Welcome to the crib, fam, the legend is born. We taking the crown, yeah, we weathering the storm. Yeah, weathering the storm, word up. Word up, aqua and orange for real. 2026, the year of the deal. Proctor, Johnson, Rodriguez, the whole squad, making it happen against all the odds. Peace to the South Beach, peace to the Finns. This is where the new dynasty begins. One love, word up, we out.
Weathering the storm. All right, what's up, Fins fam? Welcome into another wonderful episode of Cooking with the Real, where we be cooking up the realest food and the realest takes on the internet. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Fins up. Let me get some fins up in the chat. Oh, it looks a little choppy at the moment. Maybe it'll clear up. All right, sounds like everybody can hear me well. So what is up, Fin fam? We got a poll in the chat. Let me know who you repping, what team you repping. We got lots of announcements today. We're gonna be cooking up some hot takes and some hot wings. That's right. Anybody that want to hop up into the Discord and come up here with your takes or your thoughts, you're more than welcome. That's right. Welcome in. Sunday. Hopefully the picture clears up for you guys. Showing out here on this hot Sunday down here in Florida. We've had a whole lot go on with the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots picking up AJ Brown. I think that really makes them unfortunately that really makes them a problem for the rest of the AFC East, because AJ Brown does pose a threat, especially when it comes to the deep balls. He doesn't have the sure hands. Like the way that I look at it is if Mike Vrabel wants to repeat any kind of the success that he had last year, he's going to have to utilize AJ Brown the way that AJ Brown wants to be utilized, and he wants to get the ball 30, 40 times a game, but he's only going to catch half of those. So you're going to have to feed him, but he's going to catch half of them. And if he turns two of them into touchdowns, well, that gives you 14 points. You can do that in every game, and you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get 14 points from force feeding AJ Brown the ball. Like, you really only need to get another touchdown, 10 points elsewhere. You surely get that with Drake May using his legs, running the ball. with their little two-headed backfield that they got there with their running backs, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. Like, that's a good duo that they got in the backfield. So, man, AJ Brown really does pose a threat to the rest of the AFC East. But hopefully with the way that Halfley and Sully have built this defense, maybe he won't be so much of a threat to the Miami Dolphins. It was interesting because Bobby Slowick the other day was talking about how this defense was built, and he had said something interesting. He said that the defense is built kind of to shut down the deep threat, which is okay, cool. I like that. Teams aren't going to be able to throw deep on us, and we've kind of seen that in training camp, especially with like the first installment of training camp where the offense was kind of learning things. So they were taking deep shots, and that's where we were seeing a lot of the interceptions and a lot of the turnovers happening. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. So that kind of like, okay, Bobby Slowick said that. We already know that Jeff Halfley is a defensive guy. He definitely favors safeties and corners, so like the deep threat area. And then you're seeing it in practice. But like this last week of practice, you didn't really see the defense kind of doing the same that they were doing the week before. And I do believe that's because of two reasons. All right. Reason number one being that this is the second set of installments. And reason number two, there was a lot more short dink and dunking passes this past week rather than the deep balls. So that tells me that we are going to have some issues. Teams, if they want to win against us, they're probably most likely going to have to dink and dunk, kind of use the middle of the field, that 10 to 20 yard range, hit it in there, and you'll probably be fine. You'll probably move the ball down the field and like do it pretty efficiently. But I don't think it's going to result in them getting big chunk plays, because one thing that I have noticed is like Athlete and Sully really did focus on bringing in players that were good with open field tackling. So yes, we'll let you get that 10, 15 yard completion, but we're going to have somebody there to tackle you and bring you to the ground, and it's just going to be a slow turning game. So we're not going to see a whole lot of big chunk plays against us, and I think that's very encouraging. What's up, Ghost? Appreciate you stopping in. Of course, crazy Dolphin fan, Mr. Polk in the building, one of the best supporters out there. Cap for life, you still can't get in your Discord, bro. Been listening to different podcasts, and I don't think that people are taking Willis and Ewers competition seriously. Everyone keeps downplaying that Ewers at times looks better than Willis. Oh, so Ghost, bro, I've been all right. So this past week, I think we've kind of, if you can piece the puzzle together, we've kind of had it pieced together, and it's looking like Quinn Ewers still has a chance, right? But there's a lot of things going against Quinn Ewers, and I've talked about this. I talked about this early in the offseason. As soon as we signed the Malik Willis, like with the contract, that was telling you Malik Willis is going to be QB1 for the Miami Dolphins. And then through a couple pressers, through a couple interviews, it kind of gets clarified, especially from Sully, where he had made the comment to where it's like, I would be lying if I said that Malik Willis isn't QB1, and he was referring to basically based on the contract. You got to read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen, because there's questions that lead up to answers, and you piece all those answers together. You might have to go back from one question that was like 3 questions ago and piece that with now the answer from this question, and it kind of makes sense. But anyway, so that being said, it was at that moment I'm like, all right, you know, the only way that Quinn Ewers is going to get this starting role is if he comes out here and completely wows it in the offseason, like takes control of the offense, takes command of the locker room, and just completely lights it up. Perfect practices, you know, like being the guy that Halfley and Sully are looking for to lead this team. And kind of, you could say he's been doing that, right? He definitely has the least amount of interceptions in through practices. Um, and Jeff Halfley last week and on Tuesday, in fact, was talking about Quinn Ewers, and he did give him some flowers, like Pete liked to say. He gave him some flowers, and said that Quinn Ewers does have the upper hand when it comes to this scheme. And Bobby Slowick also kind of doubled down on that in his interview that he had on Thursday. It was either Thursday or Friday. And he was saying that Quinn Ewers definitely has the upper hand as far as the scheme goes because he's been here before. It's kind of going to be the same thing, just a little bit different, things like that. And if you want my honest opinion, I personally believe Bobby Slowick is in Quinn Ewers' corner. I think Bobby Slowick is trying to help Quinn Ewers get this starting role. But anyway, so back to Tuesday with Jeff Halfley's interview, right? So he does give Quinn Ewers some flowers. He says some good things, but he also says some other things that are like, okay, well, he still needs to work on this, and this. Um, but then later on in the same interview, he goes on and he's talking about Malik Willis, right? So then as he's talking about Malik Willis, he goes and he talks about, oh, well, Malik Willis has this unique ability to be able to basically put stress on the defenses, stretch the pocket, use the A gaps, use the B gaps, and pretty much like he has that element of his run game to him. So as soon as Jeff Halfley said that, I'm like, man, there's no way that Quinn Ewers can get this starting role unless he comes out here and starts lighting it up with his legs as well, right? Well, Friday, Quinn Ewers in the red zone, Quinn Ewers in the red zone drills did have a scrambling touchdown for 12 yards, but I had other reports come out. Like that's what that's what the Dolphins media fed to us. Like they fed that it was in the Travis Wingfield report, and then we also got the video of it. You can go check my shorts from a couple days ago. We got fed that he had the scrambling touchdown and it fired up the offense, right? I got other reports saying that had it have been full pads, had it have been real time, that he probably would have got sacked. It would have been a sack and not a touchdown. So that's neither here nor there, but that is positive growth, and that is a sign that Quinn Ewers probably realizes, like, hey, if I don't utilize my legs, I don't have a chance at getting this starting job. So I do think that there is a QB competition. I just don't think that it's right now. I would say it's probably 70-30 in favor of Malik Willis, and there is a QB competition there. It's just that it highly favors Willis right now. So it seems like there's not a competition. But like I tell people all the time, sometimes you got to read between the lines. Sometimes you actually got to get into the box. You can't just be looking inside the box and figure everything out. Sometimes you got to dig in and you got to like piece some things together. So it's not over yet. We still got a whole lot of mini camp, or not much more mini camp to go, but we got training camp through July, which I'll be there for. Like I said, I got me some fake passes. I got me some gear that makes me look like I belong. Hopefully, I can sneak into these player interviews and get them some real questions out there. I'll have good film for you guys as well. So, like I said, if you're in my Discord, you can always DM me for training camp, ladies and gentlemen. DM me players you want me to keep an eye on. DM me questions that you might want me to ask some of these players. DM me what you want me to be looking for and getting video of while I'm at these training camps. Because I get a good spot. I get a really good spot where I can get like an aerial view, and my camera's not the greatest, but it's good enough. especially with the notes that I take along with it. So it's like we can watch the film even if it's not the best film, and it's still we can still see what's going on, and you can tell what's going on. Speaking of, I've been getting some comments about some of the quality of my the appearance of my streams. I get it, especially in my room. There's some things I'm working on, ladies and gentlemen, but right now it's not in the financial not in the financial books for me to get it completely fixed, but it is something that I'm working on. The way that I look at it, ladies and gentlemen, is I can either do one, I can sit there and I can spend the extra time that I have to learn how to make the lighting and the background and everything like 100% perfect, or I could spend that extra time and I can do some research on football around the league and be able to bring you better, more precise and decisive takes instead of spending all that time to try and make the stream look brilliant. I'll just make the takes brilliant for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. But don't worry, as soon as I have more time for this, like we just hit 500 subscribers, so that's the first step. Next step's gonna be 1,000. As soon as I have more time for this, I'll be able to put more time and effort and money into the actual look and appearance of the streams. So be patient. Be patient. I know some of them are an issue. The shaking screen when I'm in my bedroom streaming, that is something I am working on diligently. I will fix that. Trust me, because I do feel like that's a problem. Gotta fix that. Like the shaking screen, like shakes every once in a while when I move too much. You know what I mean? I don't understand what's making it do it, but I do promise parents and everything. It will get worked on over time, but it takes time. And I know y'all see the grill in the background. We're gonna be cooking up some chicken wings here shortly. It's a little early right now, so like they're not gonna take long to cook on the grill. So gonna wait a little bit, probably get the grill going. Then I'll probably cook some hot dogs, and then after the hot dogs are done, that way they can have hot dogs for lunch. And after the hot dogs are done, I'll put some chicken wings on. Got them already seasoning. They're sitting in some seasoning right now and soaking and marinating. Oh, they're gonna be good. Oh, we got someone in the building. Who's in the building with us? Welcome in. Sorry, I didn't see you come in.
How you doing, man?
Oh, what's up,
Uh,
Sharif? I've been chit chatting away. How you doing today?
I'm great, Cat. How's everyone?
Oh, it's
Everyone's
just
good?
me. Yeah, it's just me and you right now. Kids are sitting inside. It's too hot for them to be out here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I of course, you see my profile. I'm a Knicks fan, so I've been like up and down, and you could only imagine. Some of the fans here, I'm actually attached to Jets fans and Yankees fans who I hate because I'm a Marlins fan. But it just is an odd feeling how everybody is saying that we are very rude as fans. We are very obnoxious, cocky. Um, and it's strange because I know that Yankees are used to winning rings. That all the other New York teams, the Rangers, are always in the playoffs. Uh, so there's expectation to win rings in New York, even though the Knicks haven't won. But I can only imagine the city probably is going to need security on every street. Um, it's
I know
probably
that's
going to be
crazy.
one of
That's crazy. What do you think about
the,
them prices of those tickets, bro? That's more than the Super Bowl.
yeah, the
And
nosebleeds
you get
are
to
like
milk that for multiple games. Oh my gosh.
mhm. The nosebleeds are what 8,000 minimum.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
ridiculous.
yeah. So that's and I can only imagine what is happening with the TV deals, and this is why ESPN and ABC is going to have a problem because you have the guys like Peacock, Apple, Navia, all these other Fire Sticks that they can just tap into, and like Peacock is can play the NBA Finals. They have the money to outbid. Apple has the money to outbid for the next Super Bowl or the NBA Finals, and so ESPN has to compete now for TV deals. It's not necessarily the tickets, even though the ticket prices are heavy. It's not the tickets anymore, ladies and gentlemen, that make NBA players money. It's those TV deals. So, um, but I wanted to say that first of all, I'm allow Crazy Dolphin to come in and because I want to say something about what I've seen and noticed about Mike Brown and Jeff Hoffley, and it's two is about four unique things, which and so Mike Brown is where he is right now, but I see the same things in Hoffley, and I want to talk about that. But go ahead, Crazy Dolphin.
No, I
Hold
just
on, I
want.
gotta walk. I gotta walk. Cap for life. How to get in here? You down there in the chat, Cap for life. Look, if you're on your phone, if you like in the general chat, hit the back button, and it should give you a list of like chat options you can go into. You're gonna look for the voice channel and join the one that you see us all in. All right, go ahead, Crazy Dolphin.
Um, this one's say
Mr.
hello.
Paul,
What's going on, Cat? What's going on, Sharif? Um, nah, but go ahead, Sharif, because I want to hear what you got to say, man. It's always I like I said, I enjoy being on different platforms and hearing all the different opinions. Let me say this really quick, Cat. Let me say it to you, Cat. You conduct your podcast the way you want to. You're gonna always have people who gonna speak against how you do your podcast. You're gonna always have people speak against how you look at the Miami Dolphins. Same thing with you, Sharif, and same thing with me. We all look at the Dolphins in a different way because we're different. We all are different. And see, that's the thing people don't understand. They want they want um they want everybody to look at things only through their eyes. Now, when I say this, I'm not putting no names on
Yeah,
and
no,
what
and
have you.
I
So
feel you. And I feel you, and I appreciate you, Mr. Polk. But with me, I don't get a whole lot of negative feedback on my opinions, because I think my opinions, for the most part, most of the time, are pretty well thought out, and I kind of like try and piece puzzles together for people. But
mm,
like, I'm getting the negative feedback on like how like my backdrop
no,
looks and the
that's what I'm talking.
lighting of during
That's the
my
main thing I'm
streams and
talking
stuff.
about. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Listen, you're just getting your podcast up and running. Okay, you do it the way you want to. Those people want to complain and what have you. Then hey, cough up
that's
some
what's up.
money, and I'm quite sure you'll be willing to set a not of money to set it up the way you want to or do it the way you
Well,
want to.
in this case,
But
Mr. Paul, it'll be
uh,
help the nitro, help nitro and boost. And you could make money on Discord. Help Nitro and
no, no,
boost
no.
Cat's channel if you're
Mhm.
coming in because you can get the subscribers on YouTube as well.
No, no, but
Like the channel.
But the
Mm,
main thing, I don't mean to cut you off, street, but the main thing I'm trying to
mm.
say is for Cat to do it the way he wants to do it.
Right,
The way you
which
want to
is
do it,
through
Cat.
Discord.
Don't People
Yeah,
gonna
and
always
he put
say
right.
this and that, but you do it the way you want to. Because I'm gonna say it again. I've been on I've been on YouTube for a while. I've seen people get started. I've seen people leave and what have you. Everybody does their podcast different. Whether it be on YouTube or here, everybody does it different. So you do it the way you want to, and
I
and
agree, Mr. Paul.
and don't worry
And can I
about
add to that?
it. Don't worry about if you got this going on in your room and your room and this and that. Don't worry about all that. Now go ahead, Sharif.
If I can add to that, Mr. Paul, with Patreon, right? I've seen certain people funnel a fan base through email first, and they go on the college campuses grounds, and then they get emails, and then they go directly to Patreon. They don't even go to YouTube, so they go directly to Patreon. They show them, hey, this is the exclusive. I'm about to open my channel and give you the the cut up for YouTube. But right now, as emailers who followed me in Patreon, bam bam, and then all of a sudden, Discord will be the venue so you can control the flooding because they have porn flooding, the P word flooding, and that can mess up your channel. So Cat has an opportunity to control all of that, control his Patreon, and listen, Cat knows what he's doing because if
Exactly.
so, people will say, why is he doing it? Why are you getting people from your email to Patreon and not opening up your YouTube channel first? Because when you open up your YouTube channel, it's going to open up with 10,000 subscribers. And by then you'll have your Discord channel boosted in Nitro. Guys, Nitro Cat's channel, if you want to support him. You can boost his channel if you want to support him. So this
Hey,
is
I appreciate that, Sharif. Cap, the link is in the chat for you.
that's
But I do want
that's
to
what's
ask
all
you. I
about.
do want to ask you, since you're a Knicks fan, bro. Like, so how do you feel right now? 2-0. You got a game tomorrow night. You're going to be at home for what, the next two, right? So you guys have a chance to lock this down and end it, right, before they even get a chance to go back home and try and pick up momentum.
Right. I think what is happening here is what I thought. 75% of the Spurs is going to be led by their youth. Things that they just don't know yet. And I mean, I'm 48. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, damn, I was that young and stupid and thought like I could have done this and that and this. And this is what happened to me. And it's happening right now to Wibanyana, Harper. You can see also by the end of the third quarters, the game seven series is catching up with them. Um on so what I is gonna be on a weight gaining program, the proper weight gaining he's gonna be probably 270. He's gonna end up being 270 and unstoppable. And so you have to get them now. So we are escaping. I feel like we are escaping a team. When they grow, you're not gonna be able to beat San Antonio. Now, if I was Mitch, the coach, Cat, and Polk, I would start Harper because I would say this. This guy reminds me of Penny Hardaway. He gives me a little bit of, you know what he gives me a vibe of? He gives me a Penny Hardaway vibe. He gives me a Kendall Gill vibe. You remember Kendall Gill? Kendall Gill can shoot, but he would take you off the dribble and basically finish at the rim at will. And then he has a little bit of his dad cat. I don't know why San Antonio is bringing him off the bench, but if he's a 26 point a game scorer and he can get you 6 field goals in the paint. So to me, like, Harper should be starting, and I don't know why the San Antonio isn't starting him, but I can tell you next season he will be a starter in San Antonio. Whether they would make a trade to make room for him to have the ball more, Cat. I'm telling you, Harper. I don't. He boy, I he his he gives me the he gives me Sean Elliott. He gives me the Sean. He gives me That's what he gives me. I don't know what San Antonio's thinking, Mr. Paul, but we are escaping. The Knicks are escaping a team who will not be 22, 23, 22, 24 anymore. They're going to grow and they're not going to be able to be beaten in a few years. So now, that being
And
said,
that's
the
and that's
Knicks,
definitely what they got going for them for sure. Because
yeah,
like I don't think anyone would be upset either, especially like in Spurs Nation in San Antonio, like if they were to end up losing out, because they are a young team. Like they've already
mm,
kind of overcome all of the negative energy
right,
that could have came their way, by getting to the finals. It's like I do expect the
Right.
Knicks
And I,
experience and age, the reason I wanted to talk to you about this, right? Because it kind of goes into it kind of can lean into what the Miami Dolphins are looking like this year, right? Mr. Polk said we have one of the
that's what I
youngest
wanted.
teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
So who's to
Yeah.
say
Very
who's to
young.
say that the team that we've put together can't do some kind of have some kind of success, similar success, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the reason, like when I go and I say, like, we might end up playing really good games, but end up losing those games because of the inexperience with these guys. There's going to be a mistake somewhere where, like, maybe they have a pass interference, or it's a false start, or something that ends up causing us to miss out on a field goal, or instead of having a 3rd and 1 in red zone, now we're 3rd and 6 and we're just outside red zone, and like then that play breaks down. So now we're kicking a field goal instead of continuing to drive to go for a touchdown, et cetera. Small mistakes like that this young team could make. But at the same time, like we're seeing it happen in the NBA, a young team, like they've gone through, I'm sure they've made mistakes, but they were able to overcome those mistakes. They were able to fight through it, and they were able to get to the biggest stage in the NBA, and now they're really feeling it. Now it's really kicking in, and we're gonna see if the young studs can pull it off. Like they got a tall
Yeah.
task ahead of them, and that's how it sits with the Miami
So
Dolphins right now.
and
Go
so
ahead.
two things. One, the dynamics of teaching from Mike Brown translation onto his bench coaches, right? And then two, how from just what I've seen so far, exactly the same thing. Um, from Halfley translation onto his coaches, and then taking time to pick out players who he wants it done this way. You know how he translates that message, how he makes players feel, how Mike Brown makes players feel. Going and so because I watched in Sonny Purchase in New York in training camp, Mike Brown had an accountability clause that he said with the players, meaning that like my parents, Kat and Paul, I would have been able to go. My mom was a teacher. I would have been able to go to her and say, "Okay, mom, you're chastising me for this, but I'm going to tell you why I thought it was this way." And she gave me the platform to make me to make so she could receive my message, and she didn't put me in a fair monger, so I would have hid my message. So in my corrections and my being reprimanded as a kid, she would give me the space to say why I made that error. And so this is very important from a mother to a son, from a father to a son, because after you said why you ran the ball that way, why did you have your hand hanging so you can get to make you, and Mike Brown is going to make you feel comfortable to say, no, coach, I see it this way, and I want to try it this way. And Halfley and Mike Brown is going to give you a chance to do it your way, but he's also going to come back and have it done his way if your way does not work. And like I said, father dynamic with kids, mother dynamic with kids. How does your mother make you feel when you're bringing your errors to them, your father? And so dynamics in Mike Brown, and he's in the finals, is the same teaching dynamics translation to coaches. Mr. Lynn, a bench coach for Mike Brown, he translates the power to Lynn. So Lynn runs the plays. Then you have other coaches running the defensive sets. So all Mike Brown admitted, really all he is a motivation mouthpiece for timeouts. That's all. He's getting paid millions to be a motivator because he's not running anything. So what you have now is Halfley's translating that to Duggan. Halfley's and Duggan loves it. And Doug and you can see that Bobby Slowick is gonna unlock something. And Bobby Slowick is the kind of guy who's gonna say, "I'm doing it this way, and this is why," and Halfley is gonna receive it. I
What do you
love
think?
the dynamics, Mr. Cat, that is happening with the Dolphins right now. Because what it allowed New York to do, is to try everything through 60 games, Cat. And then they went back to what worked. We tried using Cat as a hub or Cat at the top of the key, like Adebayo. When you use Cat at the top of the key, like Adebayo, you unlocked something, but you went back to it in the playoffs. This is why Mike Brown teached something that Thibodeau, I don't think he could do. He just is like, it's my way, like sort of like the coach who's defensive coordinator now for, or Weaver. Weaver it was his way. You know what I mean? And so I see the dynamics in a superior elite academy in the Knicks and the way transfer of powers, and then you have what you need is Bronson to be a coach on the floor, and what we're hoping is for Brooks and A-Chain and Willis to be the coaches on the floor. Um, I remember back. I don't know if you remember back in the day, Mr.
Don't forget
Paul.
to add.
There
Don't forget
used
to
to
add
be
Steeler. Don't forget to add Steeler into that mix too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sealer, right? And I remember back in the day when the linemen used to stand up when the quarterback came at the line and he would say blue 70, and then the lineman would stand up. And when the lineman stood up, the running back would move as though he went from option A to option B or stretch to pro form. But when the lineman stood up, guys, no one would see where the running back was on defense. And then when he said blue 71, everyone went back down and the ball snapped immediately. But guess what? The front seven didn't know where A Chain moved, so they wouldn't have a good bead on him. So my point is, Halfley is teaching them that way. When you see Halfley, Kim Bocamper pointed this out, Cat and Pug. When you see them in practice, and I don't think he was supposed to say this, but when you see them in practice, he said they run up
I lost him for that. I lost him.
playing.
And
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be time to. It's gonna be get your ass up to the line. No penalties, no false snaps. Hey man,
and
it's gonna be
and
beautiful.
it's funny that you say that because I don't know if it was Zeke Biggers or Aaron Brewer that was asked about that. I think it was Aaron Brewer, but in one of the pressers, he was asked about why he runs on and off the field, and he says it's like a matter of keeping the flow going, like a respect for the game. And then Jeff Halfley, when talked about it or when asked about it, he had said that like that's what he expects. Like, that's what he's telling these people. He's like, I don't want to see you guys walking out there or walking back. Like you need to be jogging at a minimum. Um,
No
and
lagging.
that's just a testament on the coaching, on the different type of coaching that we're actually getting this year, and why it could actually work. Like you're seeing these coaches being like real coaches, asking
Yeah,
you
And
like the way Jeff.
mhm. You're talking about below average linemen for Flores, right? Flores, Patrick Graham. Shout out to Patrick Graham, the teacher who taught all the, even O'Shea, right? Chad O'Shea, people disrespected him. Chad O'Shea taught those guys to never get a penalty on false starts, holding. We were the least penalized team. Teaching is back, guys. The teaching part is back that I see in the New York Knicks and that I see now just in the mini camp in the Dolphins. I'm telling you, what you're going to see is we're going to see 4 more wins because of the freaking discipline. I love it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And the most important thing is that I'm glad that Halfley and Sully and Dugan that they seen this before they. I'm quite sure they seen this before we brought them onto our team. I'm sure they seen it. So they came in already thinking, and it's just my opinion. They already had in mind, okay, we're not going to allow for these players to be lagging, coming late, and this and that and what have you. We're not going to allow that. And once these guys get on the field, it's no, like I said, it's no lagging. You you run on the field, you run off the field, and we have and just like you said, Sharif, that's discipline, and that's what's needed. That's what made old school football good back in the days with discipline and what have you. And unfortunately, with the era change, it kind of got away from that. But you can still come in to a franchise and bring that discipline in, even with the different generation of kids that we got coming into the NFL now. You still can do it, and happily right now is doing it in a very positive way. So um, I've said this before, we just gotta, don't when the season starts, don't just be looking. I mean, it's nothing wrong with winning games. I'm all for winning games. If we make it to the playoffs, I'm fine with that. If we make it to the Super Bowl, I'm fine with that. But if we don't, the main thing I want to see is these players developing. I want to see these coaches developing the players. I want to see some, and Kat, I know you probably hear me saying this. I want to see somebody that we least expect on this Dolphin roster, some to step up and say, you know what, I'm fit to be that guy. That's
And
what
you
I
know
want to see.
what, Mr. Paul? And you know what, Mr. Paul?
Y-
There's two guys. There's two guys I've been telling everybody about all off season, right? And
Mhm,
nobody wanted to believe me. What are those two names we're starting to hear come up in some of these pressers that these reporters are asking Halfley about? And some
uh-huh,
of the names we're hearing in the practices, Mr. Ben Sims, that tight end that
hmm
came over here with them from Green Bay, who's
yeah,
been working with Malik Willis for the last 2 years because they were both on the second string team. So already built that chemistry. You see him; he's already caught a couple big passes over the middle that's turned into touchdowns. Zane Anderson, we heard Jeff Halfley talking about him in the presser. He was asked about Zane Anderson, and he talks about he really expressed about how much he trusts Zane Anderson.
hmm
So like I said, those are my two names that nobody is really that everybody's been sleeping on. Those are my two names for players that are gonna step up and stand out, and it's an offensive player and a defensive player. Now your
right.
turn.
Okay, okay, with me on offense, um, and this gonna surprise people. Well, no, 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 I can't use him. Okay, on offense, who's been really stepping up? I'm hearing a little bit good things about. I'm starting to hear things about Ollie Gordon as far as offense go. With him starting to perk a little bit, and that's something I really want to see. And then on defense, I'm gonna go ahead and say Chop because I'm starting to hear some good the last well let's just say with the last OTA, I'm starting to hear some good things about Chop. So when I bring up these players, I'm not saying these players are elite or nothing like that, but I'm liking what I'm hearing from the camp. Okay, so
Yeah, no,
go ahead, Shabby.
well, hold on. I want to talk about Chop real quick because I do
Mm-hmm.
like that too. I do think that he's going to come out in year three, especially in
Got
Halfley's
picked up the
defense,
other day and had to miss
and
practice.
be yeah,
And
and be
so
much
I
more
want,
successful.
right.
No, what you're saying, Shabby?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I was saying, I think, I think I want to wait until the scrimmage, beating up on ourselves. Because what you're seeing is like a 10 touchdown goal line, uh, formations, 7-on-7s, and then Halfley's intentionally doing the goal line plays. So all you're seeing is touchdown, touchdown, or you're getting stopped on fourth down. You can't really judge that. Um, um,
Mm-hmm.
so and then also we are getting nicked up now. Um, so I want to see the first scrimmage, and then that's going to lead into the preseason, and then I'm gonna Start looking for the second half. That second half of the preseason when I want to see who kept plays, who learned the plays, who learned the first and second phases of the plays playbook, and who's on to the third and fourth, who's higher, who's and Hoffley's gonna say, okay, this guy I could give this guy the playbook because he said he's not gonna stop. It's gonna be more drills tomorrow, more installs, and it's not gonna wait. So what you're gonna have now is the intelligence of a Kyle Lewis that was said in college, the intelligence of a Conga that was said in college, the intelligence of a Taffy, Trey. Do you know that Trey Moore is the standout? He's the
Yeah,
standout linebacker.
yeah. Not being that
Omar
limb
Kelly is
block.
right there. And other people are saying it. He is the standout linebacker. So, and this is what I was talking about draft night. Don't mind he's 6'2", 3. He just look at his college and look. He has the Cameron Wake bend, strength to power on that curve, and
Oh, Sharif, we kind of
well,
lost you a little
uh,
bit.
an
Okay,
NFL
now you back.
executive says he compares him right off the bat to the Hall of Famer who's played for the Tampa Bay, Derek Brooks.
Mhm.
I say, how the hell can you compare Trey Moore, a rookie, to? He said, man, that's just what he said on YouTube. He said, this guy right now is, but I was like, okay. So now, weeks later, into the second mini camp, Trey Moore's like, I got this. And so now I'm gonna expect Trey Moore to become this standout like a Eric Rowe, Nick Needham, Cater Kohu. I'm expecting this now. That's what I can say from what I've seen so far.
All right, let me ask you, what round was Trey Moore drafted in?
Like the fourth.
The
Trey
fourth
Moore,
round?
but my thing with Trey Moore is a fine talent. What's good, y'all? Happy Sunday to y'all. But
Hey,
he's
what's
like
What's
a,
up,
going on?
he's
Nick?
like he's like a pure edge rusher, if I'm not mistaken, right, Cat? Like Derek Brooks was like your 4-3 traditional outside linebacker, right? So it's like I feel
Yeah,
like it's comparing
But he,
apples to
he has
oranges.
he has Jerome Baker skills so far in camp, but he's able to come up and engage with 200 and 320-pound linemen. He's
Yeah.
able to engage Shad and still put his hand in the ground as a 4-3 end. But he can be Jerome Baker.
yeah.
What the hell was that?
My question on
Shout
that,
out to
and
Sully.
I was just
Shout
gonna
out to
say to
this
put
is
Sully.
Trey Moore and Derek Brook
why I
combos,
can't
that's
wait.
that's
This is
unfair to
why I
him.
can't wait till I get into training camp and see it with my own eyes, because it's like, is he going against the twos, the ones, the threes? Like, where's he lining up currently? You know what I mean? That kind of is going to depend on how his performance is going to be. Um, so and that's why I can't wait till later next month when I get to go down there and see these camps for my damn self.
Trey Moore played at Texas, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he was the opposite side of Colin Simmons. Yeah, so you got to take that into consideration too. Colin Simmons is that guy. He's the one who had all the protection slide over to his side. You know what I mean? That kid's gonna go top 5, top 7 in next year's draft.
Wait, Nick, I'm glad you brought that up because
Hmm.
you know that the kid
What's
who
up,
was
Cody the
opposite
Great?
Kenneth Grant, they said that this is documented. They said that the kid who was opposite Kenneth Grant
Oh, Mason
hasn't done a
Graham.
damn
You meant
thing.
Mason. Yeah, Mason
Yeah,
Graham, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
A
hasn't
lot of
done
people
a
like his
damn thing.
potential
And
too, but he was
as of
pretty
week 10,
underwhelming as a rookie.
and they said as of week 10, if you look at Kenneth Grant's stats, just look at him. He was dominant.
I
So
like Kenneth
who
Grant.
needed who in Michigan? Who needed who in Michigan, Nick?
But I mean, I'm
If
a
you
Michigan fan. I was a huge Kenneth Grant fan. I actually wanted the Panthers to draft him last year. I wanted us
you
to
see what
trade
I just
down.
did, Cat?
I wanted us to trade back last year, like into the mid-teens, and then grab him. But we took Ted. I'm cool with that. But like before the draft, I was super high on Kenneth Grant. Super high.
You
He
better
has
be
great
Because
Ted.
potential. It's just if he puts it together. If
because
he puts
that
it
I mean
together, bro, I hate to say
Let
we
this.
me
got the better
He
nose.
gives me
let me
Warren
ask you
Sapp
this.
vibes. He gives me
Let me
Warren
ask
Sapp
you though,
vibes
Nick.
if he puts it
Let me ask
together.
let me ask you though, Nick.
Mhm.
You think if you would have drafted Kenneth Grant over Tet, you would have made it to the playoffs last year?
Probably, honestly, probably not. Probably
You
not, to
think
be honest.
you think you'd be in the position this year to win the division again?
It depends, because like if we took Kenneth Grant, Cat, and it was like if we went out and got a big name free agent receiver, then it's like okay. But if we took Kenneth Grant and we didn't add anything to the receiving room, hell no, I wouldn't like our chances. Who the hell Bryce throwing to? Shit, he needs someone to at least throw to.
Yeah, so in
At least one
hindsight,
guy.
it's like
Yeah.
no matter how much you wanted the guy, right? Like in hindsight, it wasn't a bad move on your team's part.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
no,
a
for sure,
smart
for sure.
play.
I'm definitely happy with it.
And that's just what I'm just using that as an example to show some of these Dolphin fans about some of the picks. Because remember, a lot of these fans out there were not happy with the picks that we took. You know what I mean? But it's just like
I
it
thought
may
you guys
not
had
be
a
the guy
great
you
draft.
like, but it may be the right guy for at
Listen,
the time.
Well, one thing we
you
got to
know what
keep in
you know
mind
what
too.
I'm. Go ahead. Well,
Well, let me say this real quick, Sheree. One thing we got to keep in mind too. When we went and got Christian Wilkins, did he show up and show out the first time he got on the field? No,
no,
not
and that's what
really,
I was just gonna
not
say
really.
that.
You
That
guys still got Jordan
my
Phillips,
birthday
right?
He had
wish.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
not
My
Jordan.
birthday
I
wish.
know I'm talking about Jordan. I'm talking about Christian Wilkins.
No, no, I'm just
But
saying
It's
in
anyway,
about two and a
general. I'm
half
just saying in
years.
general. You guys still have Jordan Phillips, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We
Oh,
still
he's good
And
too, dude. He's good
he's
have,
too.
actually
and
been
we
one of
also
the
have
standout
Zeke Baker.
guys so far.
He's a stud,
Yeah,
dude.
they said he has come into camp just like how Patrick Paul has evolved 1 year to the next. They said Jalen Phillips so far has
Jordan
come
Phillips,
in. Yeah,
not
Jordan Phillips
Jalen.
has come
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
I'm sorry, not Jalen. Jordan Phillips has come in and evolved even better than Patrick Paul from 1 year to the next. So you know what that means, right?
I'm not
That
gonna lie,
means
y'all.
that
I think you guys have good potential in the
you
front
gotta give
seven,
Chris
bro.
Greer some credit. You gotta
Oh,
give Greer some credit, man. Just
but
gotta give Chris.
everybody develops at their own pace. So that's why I brought up Wilkins, because Wilkins, when you first hit the field, I mean, he didn't look like the person that I thought he was. But
Yep,
given what season 2, season 3, we started to see him develop into the player that he became. So
but
we got to give that same thing to Kenny Grant, because I'm
yep,
not gonna lie, I was upset the first time Kenny Grant got on the field, and he just didn't look like the person that I watched on film. But I started thinking about, okay, Christian Wilkins,
yep,
guys like that have to develop, and we have to give them time to develop.
yep,
Plus, he's coming from a different, he was brought in by a different coach, coach and GM. So he has to switch from the old regime to a new regime. So we got to give some of these players
yep.
their time to develop, and what have
Mr. Pop, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm gonna take it one step further, right? To your
you.
point about Christian Wilkins, he wasn't that great as a rookie, and then his second and third year he got better. Like this is one thing as fans we need to understand too, and I think all you guys understand this as well. It always depends how bad these guys want it and how dedicated they
Mhm.
really are. Like that's one thing. Like we could watch these guys film and be like, "Oh my God, the potential is insane. He looks incredible." But if he
Mhm.
doesn't care to become better and he doesn't care to put in the extra work, that shit don't matter. You know what I mean? And Christian
And
Wilkins is a prime example. He had great potential coming out of Clemson. His rookie year was underwhelming, and then he turned into a fucking force. You know what I mean?
There you
Why?
go.
Because
I
he
think we're
wanted it.
seeing
He
and I
wanted it.
think
He
we're
was
seeing the
dedicated.
opposite. I think we're seeing the opposite end of that right now with Tua, right? Like if you think about it, like Tua had great potential. He had good
You're
Mhm.
right.
accuracy.
And that goes
Like
to
he
show
had
you
good
sometimes, Cat,
potential,
these guys get paid
but
and they don't give a fuck
he
after.
didn't.
You know what I
Yeah,
Yeah,
mean?
he
They get
didn't
their
give.
bag
He
and they're like,
didn't
my
care to
family's
put
taken
the
care of. I
effort
don't care
into making
anymore.
his game better.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, and I'm thinking about that. Good grief, because he did the same thing. Mm, I can't go. Y'all go ahead though. I'm thinking about a player, but I thought about him, then he just left my head. Or somebody.
Hey, so Nick, you guys winning the division again this year? What? For what? You're gonna let the
So he,
Saints, the Aints sneak
unfor-
up on you?
no,
I know you
unfortunately, he
surely
dropped out.
weren't gonna let the Falcons and Tua like run the table on you guys.
No,
Oh, is
no,
he
Nick,
going?
I
yeah,
think
he dropped. He might
I
have
think he
dropped off.
stepped up.
Okay,
Yeah,
He
okay.
got to
I'll
come
wait till
back
he
up.
comes back
But
up and I'll ask
yeah,
him
man.
again.
oh, I wish I
Yeah,
could
but
hear.
I think
Cat, give
one
I've been trying to
yeah.
get
So
Cap up there.
all
He
right.
can't figure it out. I'm gonna
But
have to
Cat was
drive.
up
I'm
here
gonna
the
have to
other
find
day,
out where
right?
he is and drive and meet him
no,
and show him in person.
yeah, that might be it. Yeah, because
I think he was up here the other day.
no,
Does he have
he
Discord, Cat?
he's been up here before. I think he's been up here before. Yes, he has.
Yeah, he has been up here before.
But
Yeah, for sure.
but see, he might be going through the same thing I went through because it's I'm so used to
Cat for
and
life.
I'm so used to StreamYard that I had to adjust to Discord and what have you. And the more I get on there, the more
Yeah.
I'm getting more familiar with it. And see, I'm also using Discord with since I love severe weather, I also on a podcast with people who love severe weather using Discord as well.
And guys, you once you enter the Discord channel, you'll see the layout of the channel. There'll
Hmm.
be a text only channel. There'll be an announcement channel. For you to see Cat's announcement channel, but then you would see some people in a channel, a voice channel. So
Okay.
once you enter the Discord, you see the layout, you look down or scroll down and you see us in a channel, voice channel. That's
Mm,
how you get in.
right.
And you're
Also,
in and then you can join the chat.
also too, if you see tavern on there, that means you went too far down. Just go back up just a little bit, and you'll see just like Sharif and Kat said, you see the voices and you see the people that's on there.
Not everybody can join though. I do have it set to where you have to have panel access. So
Mm,
like you can't just join today and be able to hop up here. You'll have to Discord. You'll have to DM either me or Waffles, so that we know you're a real person. We
right.
know you're not trying to troll or be one of those porn bots.
Yeah.
So definitely join the Discord though. I think it's a good moment. We got announcements to make, so definitely join the Discord because it's definitely a place you want to be. We hit 500 subscribers, so that means we got Mike Gesicki going out to somebody. And Mr. Polk, you are the winner of our Mike Gesicki photo. You have gone around and supported not just the AFC Eastie Boys, but I see you support fearlessly all throughout the Miami Dolphins community. You're super respectful and you're a pretty cool dude. So I'm actually honored to be able to give you this. Um, just DM me your address details and I'll get it sent out to you. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because we do got more coming. We got another one. We're going to be announcing it soon. Once we figure out what we want to give y'all for when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So don't stop. Don't stop. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting. Definitely join the Discord. It's a great place to be. You've heard Sharif talking about it. You heard Mr. Paul talking about it. Definitely a cool place to be. We have regular chats so you can get in on conversations. 24/7 access to a community of just football fans. So definitely not a bad place to be. It's also where you want to be if you want to win any of our giveaways so that we can get your information and get your gifts sent out to you. Also where we're going to hold our Final Fantasy chats, all of that. So make sure you tune in and hit up that Discord.
And Kat, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I really appreciate that.
Hey,
Big
no
time.
problem, man. It was I wanted to give it to Miss Fins, because I know she would appreciate it, but she's not
Hmm.
in the Discord, so she's disqualified.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so again, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. And I will leave that information that you need. Yeah, I'll leave it for you.
All right,
But
no problem. Just yeah, make sure you DM it to me. Don't put it in any public chats or anything.
okay. Yeah, so no, but um, like I said, we just gotta give these players and the coaches time to do their thing. Let them do their work. The most important thing is that if you take time to look at what they're doing, they seem to be going in the right direction. So it just, like I said, sit back and enjoy it. Cheer for your team. Cheer for our team. Enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%, Mr. Polk, and that's what this year is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Don't sit here and yeah, don't get your feelings all twisted in the wins and losses, because like our wins and losses this year aren't going to be coming from the win loss column. It's going to be coming from the progression that we see on the field from week to week, from day to day, the growth, the camaraderie, the chemistry, the coaching from week to week. Like these are the things, like those are our wins.
Hmm. Yeah, that's for real. That is for real. Yeah. So,
Are, are you worried about the Patriots, Mr. Paul?
well, now
For
that
AJ Brown over
look,
there?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Anybody in our division, the Jets, Bills, Patriots, I'm always be concerned about. But with them getting AJ Brown, it takes it to a little, to me, of a higher level. So yes, I was concerned about the Patriots before they got him. I will, and I'm not. I'm going to admit I'm a little more concerned with them have bring them into their team. But I'm not overly concerned because I'm liking what I'm seeing with our defense. And I know this just the OTAs and training camp. I know that, but I'm liking the direction that our defense seems to be going. It's gonna be more prevalent once the preseason start and the regular season start. That's when we're gonna really see pretty much a piece of what we have. So I'm AJ Brown. Yes, he makes the Patriots better, but who's to say what's going to happen once preseason and season start with our team? So I'm going to definitely stand behind our team and say, yeah, he if the way that they're setting this defense up and what happened in there, and that if they're um executing out there on the field, then AJ Brown may not be that big of a threat as we think. Now I'm not putting them down.
No, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one, Mr. Paul. Um, so another question, kind of same thing. So we had the Buffalo Bills add DJ Moore, and we had the New England Patriots add AJ Brown. Which one of those duos then? Are you scared of either one of those duos? Does one duo pose more of a threat than the other? Because in my opinion, I think they're both kind of the same. They're the same type of receiver. They're the big body receiver that you're going to like run out on a deep route or on out routes, deep posts. And they're going for those 50-50 balls, which we were talking about earlier, and you were just talking about how like this defense kind of is designed to shut down the deep threat.
He, yeah. I mean, well, to be straight, I don't know much about you said DJ. What's his name now?
DJ
DJ
Moore.
Moore. Okay, I have to go back. I've heard some things about DJ Moore, but I never took time to look at any kind of film or highlights of him. So I gotta go back and look at that. But if he's similar to AJ Brown and what have you, and I'm gonna say it again, the way Halfley and Dugan are working with our defense. Let's hope that they have some success with that, because if so, then they're going to be ready for it. Because I'm quite sure they, like I say, the biggest thing that is making me feel good about the new coaching staff is it's like they've seen how we played the past few seasons, and they came in with a plan to turn this around and flip it over. So with that being the case, they know what the threats are in in our division with the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets. So I'm quite sure they have plans to deal with the main threats of each team. So my thing is this, with the direction that they're going and what have you, it's going. All like best thing I can say is going to be interesting. I can't make no prediction because just like I said, we just don't know. But I
Yep.
like what I'm seeing. I really like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing too, and like I'm not too worried about those guys, although they do definitely make those teams better. But I think it's not anything we need to worry about. Um,
Yeah.
Drew, you got any thoughts on those receivers and the threats that they might pose to the Miami Dolphins this year?
Sharif, you still with us?
No, he's got his mic muted. He might be busy doing something.
Hmm.
He might be busy doing something. So the next time these guys get together for camp, they'll have pads on. It'll be 11 on 11s. It'll be full actual scrimmages, offense versus defense. So now we'll start getting a little bit of a real gauge on the progress that these guys are making as far as the installments have gone and learning the small little details. What are you looking forward to most? Like what would you like example, like what would you like to see? Like for me, like what would you like for me to videotape like you would want to see exactly? Like for me, I know personally I'm going to be checking out the quarterback competition. I'm going to be checking out our corners and our safeties and how um, Hapley's utilizing them. I'm going to be checking on the coaches to see how the coaches are coaching during the scrimmages, like small things like that.
Hmm. Okay, with me, I'm gonna start with the defense first. Um, my main uh watch will be on the safeties and the cornerbacks and see how what we have with them. Okay, on and then maybe also the edges, and then on offense, the positions the main position I'm kind of looking at is the offensive line and the out tight end room, with a little bit of concern with the running back. Well, no, I take that back. I'm not gonna say what, but the main things I'm looking at on offense is the offensive line and our tight ends to see what the battle, especially with the tight end. I want to see what the battle's going to result in with that because right now, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of have Dosage as the number one tight end, um, then Sims. I think Sims from the Green Bay Packers. He's the second one, and the third one is well,
Kazmarek.
yeah, Kazmarek. Oh, and then also the in, inter, the international guy. In fact, that's the main person I want to see
They do
if he gets any snap.
Traore. They do Traore.
Yeah, the international guy. Because I've been hearing some good things about him as well. But now I haven't heard much from him as far as OTAs and training camp. But that's one of my strong interests.
Yeah, and I think offensive line naturally is going to be something I'm going to be paying attention to, and it'll be on the film that I'm taking because like I'll be taking film of like the whole thing, so you'll be able to see the offensive line, be able to see the
Mm.
running backs, the safeties, you'll be able to see all of the positions when we get to film. But yeah, offensive line naturally we want to see how that's progressing, especially since We switched Jonah to his natural position. We've been hearing words.
Exactly.
We've been hearing
Mm,
good words that Jonah has definitely taken a step forward as far as that goes. Now that he's playing in his natural position, it's we've been hearing good things about Caden Proctor and Patrick Paul able to open up humongous rushing lanes on the left side. So
yeah.
being able to see that in action, it will be nice. Whether it's Devon A. Chain or Ollie Gordon, I don't think it's going to matter if they're able to. If Patrick Paul and Caden Proctor are able to open up lanes to where the running back has 3 yards before any type of contact, I don't think it matters which running back we roll out there. It could be A. Chain, Ollie Gordon, or Jalen Wright,
Yeah.
and they'll have success on the left side. Now, I think the right side.
I
Now we got to see what goes on with the right side, because we can't just be a left side running team, because that's going to get
Exactly.
eventually shut
Figure it out.
down. So we got to be able to
right.
go to the left and to the right, and I think that's where the RPO is going to come into play. We'll just have to wait and see how it's utilized and executed.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm.
think. By the way, I think Hankerson and Rodriguez can take jobs. Hankerson can come up from the practice squad and take Jalen Wright's job, and I think Rodriguez can take Dodson's job.
Here,
So
here's
because of what you said just now.
But here's my rebuttals to that, though, right? Here's my rebuttals to that. Is like, you have in Dodson, you have some decent film and you have some decent stats to be able to turn Dodson into something, whether it be a future draft pick, another player in a position of need, etc. Same thing with Jalen Wright. Like, and these guys are going to be coming up on contract soon. Like, especially Jalen Wright's going to be coming up on a contract next year. So it's like, I can see what you're saying as far as that, but like, I don't see it happening to start the season, because if these guys are as smart as they should be and as smart as they're acting as they are, I'm talking about Sully. um, he would utilize Jalen Wright and he would utilize Terrell Dodson kind of early on in the season to be able to help build their trade value. So when trade deadline comes around, you can use these players, especially if Hankerson has shown promise to be able to come in and fill that role. Or Jacob Rodriguez, same concept. If he's able to come in and show progress that he could fill that role, now that gives you a blanket to be able to trade these guys. It's like, okay, well, I got a guy that I can immediately plug in and replace it. So let me build for the future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like putting Jalen, like bringing him up to start over Jalen Wright. That's going to end up putting Jalen Wright on the practice squad, which is going to tank his trade value.
Yeah. And then also too, to speak like was one running back that's on this roster too. And I think actually they brought him in to that who could probably replace Jaden Wright, but not right away. Let's see, where's this? Oh, Carlos Washington Jr. I got to look at some film on him, but he has the same size and stature as Jalen Wright. I don't know if he has the 4.3 speed, but basically when the with I mean to me when the season started, we're talking about A Chain, right, Ollie Gordon, and then the other guys. Now the guy you talking about Hankerson, I don't, to me, I don't think they would bring him in to fill in the spot of Jalen Wright because he's a smaller back. He's a small back similar to A-Chain. In fact, he's 1 inch shorter than A-Chain because Hankerson is 5'8". So unless he's a short, thick guy, thumper, I don't think they would bring him in. And I'm not putting what you down, putting what you said down, Sheree. But I think that if they do bring somebody in, it will probably be um
Bigger body.
Washington Joint.
Washington.
Yeah, Washington Joint.
It'll be Washington who's already above him, right? And the reason why I say that is because if Jalen Wright and Dodson will be trading pieces,
Hmm.
it wouldn't be trading pieces, and you're losing something from the team. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
trading pieces, and Hankerson steps right in, and
Mm-hmm.
Rodriguez
Yeah.
steps right in, and that's
Yeah.
why and that's the only way I'm gonna do it. But you have
Mm-hmm.
to trade them before week 8.
Right. I hear you. I hear you on that.
So to me, it's not like you're gonna lose something with Dobson. You're gonna lose and gain Rodriguez. You're gonna lose Jalen Wright
Mm.
and gain Hankerson, who can do everything. This is Hankerson from UM. He
Man,
he
Uh,
he
I,
went
I
down
can't
the.
answer that.
hold up. Let me check that out. 'Cause I know I got it
Yeah,
right
It's
I
here.
need to
Hankerson
answer
from
that.
UM.
No, no,
This
no,
isn't
no.
the
No, he's from
this-
Oregon.
he's from Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon State.
Damn,
He's from Oregon
I
State.
thought I thought I thought we picked up Hankerson from UM.
No, no, no. I think there is a Hankerson that with UM, but this is not him. This guy here is from Oregon State, and he's 5'8". Yeah, he's from Oregon
So,
State. Anthony
so
Anthony,
From UM called Hankerson. Hankerson was backing up the other running back from UM. Got his name.
but from last year,
Mhm.
he's talking
Hold
about
on,
Fletcher.
Hankerson from
Was he
UM.
backing up Fletcher?
Yes, Hankerson is already in the NFL, or he's still at UM.
Or what? I don't know. But this Hankerson here is from Oregon State.
Okay.
Anthony Hankerson. He's from Oregon State.
uh, I got a question for y'all, and y'all in the chat too. I want to see what y'all say in the chat too. As of right now, today, if you had to place a bet on who would have the most targets receiving for the Miami Dolphins, who would you say that is?
The most receiving target on the Miami Dolphins. Good grief, man. Oh man, good grief. Well, receiver wise,
Doesn't necessarily have to be a receiver. It's just who do
okay.
you think's going to be our best receiver? Our like who do you think's going to lead the Miami Dolphins in receiving? If you were to make that bet, like you're on Hard Rock right now to make that bet, who would you pick?
Oh man, right now I got to. Right now, well, I got to. Right now, I got to say one of them got to be Dosage. The other one would be maybe Malik Washington because oh boy, okay, that's not easy. Yes, to me it got to be between Malik Washington and Greg Dosage.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be Greg Dulcich is going to be our leading receiver this year.
Yeah, yeah, because and even though he was brought in by the last regime, he's already having chemistry with from what I'm hearing with Malik already. So and we know how he plays now. Now the thing that I don't like that I'm hearing, but I'm not gonna take it too much with a grain of salt, is that he's been dropping balls and what have you. But see, that can be corrected. If he's having dropping issues, that can be corrected. And I'm quite sure with his mindset that he's not gonna just let that, continue as far as when he start putting on the pads and also when we start playing some games.
Right, 100%.
And that was that was a
Yeah,
tough question.
100%. Because like dropping passes definitely is going to be an issue. We can't have that. And if it continues, Jeff Hafley's not going to put him on the field from what
Exactly.
Jeff Hafley has said so far. So yeah, if he's having issues with dropping passes, and I don't think it's so much a matter of him like having issues with dropping passes. I think it's just it was part of the growing pains. learning
Mm,
the installments, learning the timing between the quarterback and the receiver, and like Malik Willis has been working on learning their preference to like where they like to receive the ball at, and that's where a lot of the off field um workouts are coming in at. Like they're coming in on their own time and they're working out and they're practicing together and doing things. Um,
yeah,
so it will get better over time and it will get cleaned up. But it could
mm,
also be a product of how good this defense is, ladies and gentlemen. Like
yeah,
like this defense really could just be that good. We could be looking at a top defense in the league. And with that being the case, I've said this before, like if our defense can come out here and create turnovers like I expect them to, like, and I expect them to create turnovers to the extent that they're like leading the league in turnovers. That gives opportunities to the offense. The offense doesn't have to be great. They don't have to be lights out. They just have to be efficient. Move the
yeah,
chains, turn these turnovers into points, whether it's 3 points or 7 points, but do something with it, move the ball down the field, keep the opposing offense off the field, stops them from scoring points. And some of these turnovers could turn into points themselves. So already putting the Dolphins in the plus category. So and I think that's how like that's honestly to me what I'm seeing is like that's how the Hathaway and Sully are building this team. They're building it with the defense first, and the
mm,
offense is going to be like a slow rising progression from the offense. You know what I mean? Like this is the year we find out if Malik Willis is a guy or not. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's for sure.
And if he's not, then yeah, he. If not, he would be a female. No, we mean in like a guy, as in like a franchise guy, because he's still young enough. He could be a franchise guy. And what would y'all think if he came out here and took us like led us to 12 wins, throwing for 200 plus yards and a couple touchdowns a game, like looking really good, having an MVP style year, you know? And
Hmm.
then our whole process would be sped up. We'd be ahead of schedule. But I'm not going to say that's what it's going to look like. But at the end of the day, none of us really know. None of us really know. Like this is all opinions and speculations, and we're hoping that these guys can come out and do what they need to do and do what they're saying they're going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see. But while we waiting to see, enjoy it. Let's enjoy it, man. Let's enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. I think my grill's ready. I can start putting these wings on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fall season's about to start. Then right after that, those who like college football is about to start. So get, get a chance to watch your favorite team, see what players gonna stand out. I just love football. Period. I just love football. Yeah. But listen, everybody hit that. If you're still on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe, join us. Let's make this podcast bigger, more enjoyable. So smash that like button. It don't cost anything. Just smash that like button. Subscribe and support.
All of the buttons, like they say on TikTok, all of the buttons.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. We just chill. It's a Sunday afternoon, just chilling out. Cat got the grills going, about to throw on some wings or whatever. Just talking about our favorite teams. Sometimes we'll talk about other things. We'll talk about basketball a little bit earlier. Sometimes we talk about things going on in life. We talk about food, what have you. That one of the last times I was on here, me and Kat were talking about marinating food. So hey, this is the place to be. This is the place to be. You know, talk about your favorite team before you go back to work Monday. For some of those who are still working, those who are retired, hey, let's enjoy each day that God gives us.
Yeah. My buddy should be over later. My Jet fan Waffle. I'm gonna have to pick his brain and see what he thinks, and then fill
Mm.
y'all in on what's going on with the Jets.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you something. I got fun. I got a funny feeling about the Jets. I think the Jets are, as far as our division go, Cat. I think the Jets is a team that can surprise all of us. Right now, I'm not gonna lie. I got us ahead of the Jets, and then also I got with me, I got the it's a toss up between the Bills and the Patriots, then us and what have you. But the Jets, I got a funny feeling about them, and I got a funny feeling about our team as well. I kind of put. I think that the two teams that the teams that could be surprised this division is is the Dolphins and the Jets.
No, 100%. Like the Jets definitely we're kind of similar with the Jets. Like they're just in it looks different for them than it does for us. Like us, it was a whole rebuild, regime change, however you want to look at it. Some people don't like calling it a rebuild, but I mean, you gotta call it for what it is, in my opinion. If you tear everything down and you get rid of pretty much everything and bring in all new things, it's a rebuild. Um, the Jets, though, they had a bunch of draft picks. They traded off some high value players in last season. Got a bunch of first round capital. Got a bunch of other draft picks. So like for this year and next year, like the next 3 years, they're sitting pretty when it comes to a draft. So it's like if they can draft properly, like they can put themselves in a position to totally flip this AFC upside down. Same with the Dolphins. Like we're in a position to where like we can finally move forward and start making the AFC competitive again. Like
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. And then with the Jets, if you don't know already, I'm quite sure that they're looking forward to this draft come. In fact, I'm quite sure they've been waiting for this draft to come up because I definitely feel they're going after a quarterback for sure with the draft coming up. Now I'm not putting down Geno Smith and whoever else is on the quarterback roster, but I'm quite sure they got their eyes on the quarterback. And then to be to be honest, in a way we kind of in the same boat with them. Not the same. No, let me take that back. We're in a similar boat with them. It's just that right now we don't. We have two players that have who have upside, but they are unproven. So we're gonna see what we have with these two quarterbacks, Quinn Ewers, with Willis, and what have you, and then that's going to determine what we're going to do as far as the draft goes. And who's to say that um that Sully and Halfley may already have their eyes on a quarterback in the draft coming up. So we just don't know. It's a lot of uncertainties, but this is we are some people call it a rebuild, some people call it something else, but this is a rebuild, and that also showed that it's a rebuild. We just recently um brought in a new strength and conditioning staff along with, so we made some adjustments also in the front office. So yes, this is but with more definition, this is a rebuild and what have you. And I'm happy with, especially with the strength and conditioning, because I think we had the strength and conditioning staff for a long time. So it's time for a change, and I'm quite sure Halfley and Sully had done their homework, and that's why they made the changes in with the strength and conditioning staff.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get in. I'll get into that in just a second. I wanna jump back to the Jets quarterback um
Okay.
situation because like I did tune in on that during the OTAs a couple weeks ago before Russell Wilson had retired because they had brought Russell Wilson in as well. So they had
Oh,
Gene Smith, they had Russell Wilson, and then they drafted Cade Klubnik in the draft
mm,
this year. And
okay.
Aaron Glenn was talking about it because he was like pretty much talking about the whole Russell Wilson, Smith, like they'll play basically the better quarterback, whatever. Um, but then he went on to say that like they drafted Cade Klubnik to
Mm,
be the guy of the future.
okay.
Like their plan is to like use Cade Klubnik as the guy of the future, or that's their plan.
Mm,
So like they may not be going after a quarterback
what?
next year. Like that
Gotcha.
may not be their
Gotcha.
goal.
Mm,
Um, but I mean, it's not completely off the table. I just wanted to like point that out that like he did technically say that he drafted Cade Klubnik as potentially the guy of the future for the New York
future.
Jets.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
so, but yeah, so
So,
the strength and conditioning is definitely a big thing in Miami, and it's been a big thing for a while. We've talked about it a few times. I've talked about it as well, like how I don't understand how they do the training camp the way that they do at the times that they do. Because we're constantly getting injuries.
mhm.
But Omar, that's why we got to give a shout out to Omar asking a great question to Coach Hapley the other day when he was talking, when he noticed the excessive stretching, right? The excessive stretching that the Dolphins were doing this year. He had mentioned like, oh, this is the most stretching I've seen of any team, et cetera, et cetera. And
Mm,
Hapley went on to talk about, yeah, it kind of comes from Green Bay and it prevents like muscle tears and injuries and ligaments from getting worn down and tearing throughout the course of the game. So it's like small little details like that. I still have not checked out our new strength and conditioning staff yet, as far as like where they came from. I do know a few of them came from Green Bay.
mm,
Um, but yeah, so it's like we got, let's see, Vice President Sports Kyle Johnston was brought in or is
mm,
promoted to Vice President of Sports Medicine and Performance of Head Athletic Trainer. Todd
mhm,
Hunt was brought in as a Director of Strength and Conditioning. Willie Jones was brought in Assistant Director of Strength and Conditioning, and Ike Brown was brought in Assistant Strength and Conditioning Coach.
mhm.
Um, and then there was one more. Hold on. Uh, no, I think that's pretty much it.
Mm.
So yeah, so I still got to kind of check them out. I'm guessing they came from Green Bay. I don't know how long they were in Green Bay, but go and look at the types of injuries Green Bay's had over the last couple years, et cetera. And don't know if
Yeah.
it's going to help or not, but yeah, injuries and strength and conditioning is definitely something that has been an issue for the Dolphins for a while.
Yes, they had. That's for sure. That is for sure. So let's see. Yeah. At the moment. Back. Okay, back. Yeah. Don't forget everybody hit that like button. Hit the like
Oh,
button, please.
oh, I gotta figure out my top five running backs and quarterbacks for this year and start putting all my Final Fantasy stuff together so I can dominate Want to
Mm.
win me a best ball league this year. See if I can win a best ball league. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all haven't checked out best ball on DraftKings, definitely check that out. It's pretty fun. It's the fantasy football game without all the headaches of being the manager week to week. So you just kind of got to put all your emphasis in your draft, drafting your players, and then from week to week, whoever performs the best just kind of gets slid into your lineup. Definitely. That's sponsored. That's sponsored. Yeah. No, for sure. Like I've already given them plenty of shout outs. DraftKings, shout out to DraftKings. Go ahead and sponsor us. We're getting there. Anyways, yeah, it's a great game. I like it. I enjoy it. You get a chance to win $1 million. So fun. Keep an eye on. And it doesn't give you the weekly headache of having to go in and adjust your lineup and then being upset because you made one mistake. Or a guy gets injured early and then like messes your whole lineup out. No, it takes all that headache away. So it's set it and forget it. Uh, but it definitely does mean you got to put a lot of emphasis into your draft. But I'm gonna get you guys prepared for that. Don't worry. We're gonna have our fantasy tune-up weekly starting up soon here in the next couple weeks. Don't forget that's on Tuesday nights. Trying to see if I can get another fantasy football head to join, start shooting ideas off of as well. But we'll see. It don't matter. I can roll it. I can roll it solo, dolo. It don't matter. 'Cause I can't wait, man. I love fantasy football. I know you're not a big fantasy football guy, Mr. Polk, but I am. I love the fantasy football. We have our fantasy football league that I started like 12 years ago, and it's just like grown over the years, and now we got like this league is like true legit fantasy football players. Most of them have been in there since the league started. Some of them are newer, but it's kind of like this is the type of league where it's like you got to like fill out an application to get into, you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm strict, man. It's like if you like I kicked a guy out last year because he kind of set it and forget it and
Mm.
then like just did nothing all season. It was just like, all right, you're out. Because we want it to
Yeah.
be active. It's much better when it's active, much
Hmm.
more fun. So if any of y'all out there like fantasy football and y'all want to join in the AFC Eastie Boys first ever fantasy league, make sure you join that Discord because the link for it is in the Discord.
Hey, y'all heard that?
Well, hey, Mr. Paul,
Yes.
I appreciate you so much for rolling through and chilling with me. The wifey got off a whole lot earlier than I had expected, so I'm gonna go
Hmm.
hang out with her. I'm gonna end the stream. Don't forget to send me your details, ladies and gentlemen. This is our winner right here, the Mike Gesicki autograph photo. Um, so we're gonna get that sent out to him. Now we're gonna have another giveaway going on when we hit 1,000. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all share. Make sure you're commenting, liking, spreading the love, spreading the joy. Help get us out there
Yeah.
because it
And
can't
Kat,
happen without y'all, man.
thanks for having me on here, and thanks for the contest and the Mike Kosicki shirt. Listen, I'm gonna say it again before I
No,
jump
it's a
off.
photo.
Man,
It's a
y'all hit that
photo.
like button. Hmm? Oh,
It's a
photo.
photo.
Okay, no, that's okay. That, any any dolphin thing, I have no problem accepting. But listen, y'all hit the like button, subscribe, and support. And listen, everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. Kat, thank you, and listen, go enjoy your family. I got to try to catch up with my sister. So listen, I see you later. Take care.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Mr. Pope. Fins up, everybody. Let me get
Hands
some
up.
fins up in the chat. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out. And make sure afterwards come back and drop a comment. Put us in the algorithm.